All right. Well, everybody, thank you so much for tuning in to this podcast style real talk about health and business. And we're just really excited to be here. My name is Doug Farrar, and I am here in Jacksonville, Florida. And I'm a former school administrator and school band director, and that has left the 9 to 5, and now I'm doing this Juice Plus business full time. And I'm really excited about it, and so tonight we're gonna have a conversation. We're gonna have a conversation that we're about how to live well, how to build a life that you're really excited about, and maybe how Juice Plus might be able to fit into that. And we have my wife, Sharon, who is featured on the screen right now, my beautiful wife, Sharon. She's been a wellness coach and been doing this business for 25 years. So she brings in a wealth of experience, and she just knows so much. She's awesome. And another awesome lady we have on is Melissa Hetrick. She's in Pennsylvania. She is a pharmacist that used to be a normal pharmacist, but now she's left the 9 to 5 grind to be more of a lifestyle medicine and prevention pharmacist. So we're excited to hear more about that. And she's going to share. She's super passionate about all this stuff. But before we get started, I just want to share with you like the story behind this whole podcast style event that we're doing. The Juice Plus product, you'll hear a little bit. We're going to tell some stories tonight. It's a great product, and behind any business, you have to have a great product. So luckily, Juice Plus is an incredible product. We love it. We've been using it for 25 years in our family, and Sharon will share more about that. But you know what? Typically, in we do this as a business. So about 10 years ago, I stopped doing my normal job. My normal job as a school administrator. I was actually running a college program then, and I went all in with our Juice Plus business, which Sharon has been doing 25 years, because it's just so good, and it offers so many advantages, and it's just a great thing. And I don't regret it for a second. But typically in our business, we share our products a lot with people. We share how we're getting healthier. We have a healthy community. We love it. In fact, our mission is to inspire healthy living around the world. Okay. But you know what? Sometimes I've just been thinking a lot lately about what the business really means to me personally and to our family. And I got to tell you, it's really changed my life. Between the connections and the community and the relationships and lifelong friendships that I've developed through this business. We just had people stop by in an RV today to visit us at the house that are on our business team. And it was great. They hung out for a while and then they kept on going. And if you travel through Jacksonville, look us up. We always love having people over. But I realize I have to share this business more. I have to share this opportunity because not everybody just needs help with their health, but what if this could impact your life a little bit like it has for us? And so I'm glad you tuned in so you could see a little bit of what that even looks like, and see if this could be something that, is maybe an awesome thing for you too. Because as I said, it's absolutely changed our lives because there's nothing, some people used to say, how could you leave your job? I mean, it was such a good job. All my friends were like, are you crazy? And I said, listen, I love my job. I love it, but I love my family and I love freedom even more than my job. So, and the funny thing is, I went from being the director of a college program to being just one of the teachers after I left it because I had the freedom to do that. So it was fun. All right, so we're gonna start off talking about our products a little bit because behind any great business, there has to be great products. And we're gonna start off with Melissa, our pharmacist. And Melissa, thanks for being on. I know that you see so much as a wellness pharmacist, and you used to be like a full-on clinical pharmacist. But what drew you to Juice Plus, and why do you recommend it now for people as a
Yeah.
daily wellness habit?
Oh, thank you so much for having me. I appreciate it. So I learned about Juice Plus from my sister and another really, really fit athlete, a couple. They were both athletes, and so they weren't flaky people. If I'm being honest, they weren't flaky people, and I I knew to trust them. And my story is when I started Juice Plus, my husband and I got married late and he already had children. So when we tried to get pregnant, I was already over 35. So I needed to do in vitro fertilization. And this was just something else I added in on top of everything else I was trying. I was like, well, it's food. What's the difference? Let's try it. And you know, it's real. It's whole food. Like our bodies know what to do with food. Like you give your body a pepper, it's like, thanks for the vitamin C. You give it some broccoli or dairy and it thanks you for the calcium. It knows what to do. And it's just a clean, simple product. There's no fluff. There's no like, I went to Target today and everything's like flashy and okay, our stuff is colorful. I'll give you that. Like that's great. I love that. But it's just like getting the rainbow in one hit. We now have capsules, gummies, and superfood, which puts it all together and makes it so easy. Kids eat for free. And we've been getting my stepson for free since I started 8 years ago. And he can go till he's 26, which is
Hmm.
6 more years. That's crazy. And we just really love it. It's a family win. The kids love the chewables. Easy breakfast on the go with Complete, easy nighttime snack that's nutritious. And I love Complete because when I did work in the hospital for over 20 years, I was like I could have been the definition of hangry. Like I would, and then, I get lightheaded. And then even once you eat, it doesn't go away. So Complete, the shake, helps keep your blood sugar stable so you don't have those up and downs. And that's just like been a godsend for me. And yeah, Jana's drinking hers now. And what I also love was just the research. So as a pharmacist, when I found out that the company had all this research, like that's what I went to school for, to learn. Like, when you go on the internet or you find an article, you look at what's the best article. You don't just trust everything you read. And these are randomized controlled trials, which means there's minimal bias and you can actually see a cause and effect because we use the real product on real people. And that that sold it for me. And then how I felt. Um, and because of how I felt, that's why I decided to share it. And I joined with my sister. So, I mean, I trust my sister. I told her no like a million times, but they're always right, especially your older sisters. And, um, I started to get really fatigued in my job and I was never satisfied. Like I was always craving something else.
Hmm.
And I thought, why can't I just share this with other people? Like I
Yeah.
just shared a movie I was watching or a book I'm reading. Like, you
Yeah,
know,
it's simple.
yeah,
It's
it's
simple.
simple.
And regarding the research, what
Yeah.
makes, not all research is the same. You see a
Right.
lot of products out there and they'll say on the product like research approved or doctor recommended and things
Right.
like that. What actually makes these studies different? Like,
So because it's those randomized controlled, so those sound like just words, but it's random. I give you a product, I give Sharon a placebo. It's controlled. We know
okay.
who's getting what all the time, except for sometimes they do studies called double blind, where the person doing the study and the participants neither knows what product they're getting. So you literally can't make it up.
Mm.
But another big difference is like, I said Target. Okay, well, you go pick a flashy gummy or vitamin from Target. There's no research on that. There's no approval on that. And a lot of products say, well, an apple helps you do this. So our product must do that too. So it's kind of like borrowed research, like
Yeah.
third party. It's not actually using the product.
That's the thing that kind of hit me. And
Yeah.
Sharon, you can jump in here because Sharon's really an expert on this. I'll just say one thing and then I'll go over to Sharon. But because you hear it all the time, people are like, because you see all these super greens, super foods, the nature products and all that kind of stuff. and so people are all excited, like, oh, I gotta have beets, I gotta have beets. So they go to the store and they just buy like whatever beet product is on the shelf. Actually, they probably look and see which one's cheapest. But like, what if you're taking a product that doesn't even work, or it's not clean, or it has impurities in it, or who knows, you know? So I think that's super important. But Sharon, let's rewind back. I don't want you to get all into that research yet, but Melissa was talking about the complete. And just so everybody knows, the complete is like a vegan protein powder from Juice Plus. And literally, that has been the breakfast in our house for, I don't know, it's got to be, is it 25
The whole
years?
time, 25 years.
The only time I've ever had other breakfasts is when I used to go out to my 9 to 5, and I was a bagel guy, and I was dumb. I was dumb. Okay, I admit it now. I was totally dumb because now I'm totally every single morning it's the same breakfast with a variation of maybe we put cherries in it, maybe we put strawberries, and we do things like that. But it is so good, and I feel so different, and I've been able to lean out a little bit. It's affected my blood pressure, my cholesterol, all of it's gotten better. But Sharon, go ahead and tell us a little bit about how you got started with Juice Plus and stuff.
Oh, okay. I thought you were gonna have me talk about the complete,
Well, you can.
but I can.
You can talk
Yes.
about anything you want.
Sharon, I
So,
missed Luminate, so
man, Luminate. Luminate is our newest love of Juice Plus. If you are a Luminate fan, put it in the chat. I love it. It's so good. It's a brain drink and it's good for energy, just calm energy and focus. I just rearranged the whole pantry today. You never know what's going to happen. It's such a surprise. But overall, mitochondria kind of energy is what happens with Juice Plus. Fruits and vegetables are the foundation of better health, but I didn't know that. I was eating McDonald's, Coca-Cola, M&Ms, any fast food, any junk food, or any food. I was not even thinking anything about it, but I had the bad health to go along with that. When you don't pay attention to what you're eating, it's very random and it could just set you up for disease, if you keep down that track. So I'm very thankful. A friend of mine told me about Juice Plus and she was just so excited. She's like, it's got all your vitamins and minerals and everything you need, and it's Jetsons come to life. And I'm like, okay, sign me up. I didn't know anything. And I'm so thankful she signed me up just in time for my second baby to use Juice Plus and the Complete, which is that shake that has a complete amino acid profile, fiber, vegetarian protein, all that good stuff. It's really, really healthy for you, but also Juice Plus. And so I felt like, wow, I am so much healthier for this pregnancy than I was for my first pregnancy. But thankfully, my first child also was able to start taking Juice Plus. And then I even used it for my third child's pregnancy at age 40. And so in our community, we are a like-minded, health-conscious community of people. We like to say we make simple changes. So my first couple were Juice Plus and the Complete Shake. My third change was flaxseed. I was like, oh my goodness, I can just grind this, put it in the smoothie. And I thought, I am just
I love when you put
300.
flaxseed in.
I know. I'm just,
I like an earthy flavor. It's so
yeah.
good.
He loves it so much. And I just thought I am 300% healthier than ever. And so the Juice Plus community really helps you to get on that better track. And I was really intrigued with the research. There were 3 studies then, there's 48 now. But I loved learning about what happens in the body. And that's what drove me to learn more about Juice Plus and also drove me to share it with other people very naturally.
Mm. Yeah, that's really what I mean, that's really what I want to talk about tonight, and why I'm even starting this series of Zooms, because like I said, I just think people need to hear more about what it's like. Of course, we can look at it and say, oh, it's a business, and nobody knows what that means, because my dad was a business owner growing up, and it didn't look that attractive to me for him to be a business owner. But this has been a very different experience. The way you started, it took me like 10 years. I'm a slow learner, obviously. Took me 10 years to really catch on. But Sharon, tell us a little bit about like what it was like early on, because people think like they're so busy. Oh, I don't have time for this. And well, tell us about how you started the business, because you were, I mean, you came home with our second child to like be home for maternity leave. And this maternity is 25 years later. The maternity leave's still going, guys.
That's
But
true.
tell us what it was like to like do that on the side, because my head was in the cloud. I was working to be a school administrator and all that, but share that
That's
story a little bit.
funny. I've never thought of that. And Daniel's birthday is this Friday. That's when my last day of work was. June 6th. Let's celebrate. Oh my gosh, I didn't realize that. But yeah, I went through that pregnancy and was able to make it through the school year, I think. And I was pregnant, the year before and pregnant then. And it was kind of like my mother-in-law said she would watch one child, but not two boys. So I needed to stay home. And thankfully, Doug got a promotion at the same time from band director to assistant principal. But I had been sharing Juice Plus for about a year because it was easy to integrate into my full-time job. We're talking to people all day long anyway. It's just a little bit of intention, to share something extra and to care enough about people to share that extra thing. So I was in the guidance counselor office and I would share it. And actually, the guidance counselor next to me wanted to join the team. So we would both be sharing whenever we could. And then, of course, you have neighbors, you have family. I wanted my mom to get on, my mother-in-law, my sisters, my sister-in-law, all those people in my family. I became the point person or the resource. And I was the resource for that guidance counselor that was so excited also. So I just loved learning about it. I loved learning about how the body works, how the fruits and vegetables protect you from oxidative stress, how you slow the aging process, how this is what the government recommends for prevention
Well, I
of
got to say, hold on, I got to
every.
interrupt you, but I will say the Juice Plus ladies are much more beautiful than the average ladies. Okay, they age better, and they're more
And
fit and in
wine.
shape. It's just yeah, that's just my personal observation.
I mean, he might be prejudiced,
Maybe.
after this many years of marriage, but yeah, I mean, I at this age, which I'll say, which actually in August I'll be 59. But I grab those capsules or the superfood powders because I want to age slower. And what we know from the research is that we all have oxidative stress, and that's like a certain amount. We need antioxidant to combat that oxidative stress on a daily basis. That's why we need so many fruits and vegetables. So I'm super passionate about sharing the slowing of the aging process. We're going to age, but we don't need to have extra damage to our DNA or our cells, no, or our skin and things like that. So I'm really into making sure I take my Juice Plus, not just for better health, but also, just less aging too. What else
And
was?
then fitting it in. Well, I
Oh
mean,
yeah,
that's why we're starting this series, because we're so used to sharing about the
I know.
products that even when I ask you a question about what it's like to do the business and how you
Yeah,
started, you ended it back because we're passionate, and
yeah.
that's one of the strengths of our community is we're not phonies and stuff. We actually do love the products, and we love helping people get healthy. But the thing is, we also help people start businesses. We
Okay,
coach and we
I'll
mentor
focus.
and go what?
I'll focus on that.
Okay,
Okay,
take
so
two.
take two. My friend told me about the business. She's like, well, why don't we share this with other people and maybe one day we'll be able to stay home with our children. And I wasn't really thinking that. I just thought 20 bucks here, 20 bucks here, fun money, rebate money. I always love couponing, rebates, whatever, and that's what I thought it was. I didn't think any further. And so I was just doing what they said to do, which was to share with two people a day, 5 days a week, just as you go about life. And so I was, and then I would get customers and I would get partners and I would just share and learn and then share and learn. And that's what I did every day, just excitedly share and learn as I was learning.
Yeah.
Does that
I mean,
answer?
going to mommy and me classes. I mean, that was back in the day, the kids were little. Melissa was at a little different stage in life when she started. She was a full-time pharmacist at a hospital or something. So, Melissa, can you speak to what it was like for you starting something on the side? Because people get stressed out. They're like, "Oh, I can't do it." But you were a full-time pharmacist, and what was it like for you to fit it in around work? And that she has an amazing family up there. They're always doing something. So what was that like for you?
You know what? And just before I start that, I think you find time for what you what you want and what you like. Because I think about when I did my board, so I came out of college with a doctor of pharmacy, and then they encouraged us to get something called board certification. When I did that, like I have no idea where I found the time to study. And I mean, I studied for hours a day. And I'm like, did I eat? Did I sleep? Like, I know I did everything else. So, but you just fit Juice Plus in your life. Like Sharon said, whoever you're talking to, and this day and age, like if you're scrolling, you have time to share. You have time to talk to people. Um, Pickup, school pickup line, lunches, breaks at work, after you put the kids to bed. I don't know, watch a video while you're making dinner. Like I've constantly got earbuds in, and this has allowed me from being consistent and doing that little bit every day. Like Sharon said, two people a day. Even if it's one person a day, every little bit counts. Consistency wins, and it's allowed me to step back from working 40 hours a week to now I call Juice Plus my full-time job and I do pharmacy part-time. So I now work in a dispensary where I can work part-time, and I base those hours around my Juice Plus time and around my social life and around my family time. And it just made sense to me. Like this business just made sense. Like after I got it, after it clicked, and I was like, well, I like what it did for me. I don't even think I shared that. Like I was in my 30s and I was constantly tired, constantly tired. Um, we've always had good um, skin in our family, but my skin improved and I was regular in my GI system. We'll keep it there.
Yeah.
I didn't need any assistance, and you shouldn't need that when you're that
Yeah.
young. Um, and it just allows you the flexibility. And I just shared as I went in the little moments.
Mm.
And one idea I can share, like my sister, who's not on here tonight, is a teacher. She only goes to school a couple minutes early, and she sits down, and that's her time where she sits and she talks to people because she has a
Mhm.
list of names of who she wants to share with. And then she starts her day. And it's just little moments like that, and sharing as you go, like, hey, I made a shake. Did you want to try it? I brought some energy bites in last week because I unexpectedly went to work after an event and I had bites and I had gummies and I just threw them on the table. And everybody was like, cool, thanks. So
Yeah.
it's just,
Well, that's
it's
powerful. I want to go back to like what you said. Like you were full time, but now you supplement, or you can do pharmacy. You can choose how many hours you work in
right.
that. And I mean,
Right.
and I got to tell you guys, because I did the 9 to 5 thing, or even as a school guy, it was 6 to 6 a lot of the time, and man, it consumed me. I missed so much of like my kids' lives. But on the last kid that Sharon had when she was 40, I've been all involved in her life, and it changes the relationship and the memories. I have so many more memories that I've built with my daughter than I was able to with my son, just because this business allowed me some of that flexibility. So it's really
If I can
powerful.
add to that,
Yeah.
like you just like triggered a memory for me. Like I worked in a hospital. So day shift, second shift, weekends, holidays. Well, once I had a family, I was like, what's everybody doing at home? Are they making a mess? Did they eat? Did they clean up? Did they go to bed on time? Like it just was like this crazy time for me. And then I hated being at work when everybody else was at home.
Hmm.
It's just a weird thing. And then you're missing holidays and you're like, why am I spending Easter inside in a pharmacy? So that
Yeah.
part, I agree with you there.
Yeah. I want to encourage anybody in the chat. I mean, there's a lot that's been going in the chat. If you have any specific questions, we're going to be wrapping up pretty soon, but put them in there. If there's something you want to know, if you're curious about this business or how it works or whatever, you can pop it into the chat. But Melissa, I'd like to speak to for you to speak to like the support, like because you're busy. When I mean, you started as you were full time, you're fitting it in here and there. This is not like starting your own business where you know, you're starting from scratch. What this really is kind of like a franchise. So if you could share a little bit of like the type of things you experience as far as how you get support and coaching and whatnot.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. Right from the beginning, I remember being told you can do a little or you can do a lot. We're here to support you regardless. And actually, it's we love you wherever you are. And I think I haven't really added this, but the community of Juice Plus and the people, that's what keeps me here. That's what keeps me here. Like to finally be in my, not finally be in my 40s, to be in my 40s and finally find a tribe of people, like that's amazing. Um, but the support, yes, there's systems. You're given apps, you're given websites, you're given all this stuff, and you're not just given it and like pat it on the back. My partners and my friends and my buddies are like, here's the app. Let's talk about it. Let me hold your hand and let's do it together. And
Yeah.
I remember learning things in the beginning and then calling one of my mentors and saying, I don't know what's going on. And she walked through it with me again and she was like, we did talk about this, but let's go over it again. So that support's always there. So it's not about reinventing the wheel. It's taking the systems that are built there for you and making them your own. Sometimes there's scripts. Well, don't ever say something that doesn't feel like you, but make it sound like you and because you're doing this for a reason. You're doing it because it hit your heart. So always share from there. Did I answer your question enough?
Yeah, it went beyond. That was excellent. I'm gonna see, is there anything popping into the chat about anything? Um, what I think I did want to emphasize, that what Melissa's saying is the way I see it is it's kind of like you can be your own boss, you can have your own business, but you're not alone. You're not hung out to dry. It's like you know what to do because people are going to help you, and you can just go simply to a website and say, "Oh, this is what I'm supposed to do." How? Oh, I'm not having success with this. Oh, and then you read this. So it really helps. But great
Like to
stuff in the chat,
just
though. I appreciate all those comments.
uh,
Go ahead.
like to just say, everybody kind of has a knee-jerk response sometimes, like, I don't know enough people, or I might not have enough time, or I don't have enough knowledge, those kinds of things. Those are all normal kind of fears that we address all the time, or I don't want to seem like a salesperson. Those are things that we address and help people get over because this is such a great life-changing product and life-changing business. So we help people get through that also with coaching and just talking about it, and so to where they feel comfortable as well.
Yeah, absolutely. We help a lot of people, and I mean Sharon and I just love it so much. I mean, it just brings me so much satisfaction that this is my career now, and that my job basically now as a leader is to just help other people reach their own goals and have success. So I mean, it's super cool. And everybody's journey is different. Some people, like Melissa alluded to, some people just do a little bit in our business and they maybe just want to offset the cost of our amazing products. Some people want to make $300 or $500 extra a month. Some people want to turn it into like vacation money or whatever. And some people like try to turn it into a full-time career, and it's fine, whatever way that you want to do it. But, honestly, we would love for you to, explore how joining this community might benefit you. If maybe it's just the products, maybe it's becoming a part of something, feeling like you have some, maybe you haven't, like Melissa said, like a need or some sense of purpose, or like Sharon said, maybe you're in a position where, man, you would love to like be able to work from home. I mean, and it's a completely different lifestyle, So, and it's not just about products or business; it's about being a part of something that really aligns with our values and our aspirations. And if that resonates with you, then I think it's probably wise for you to reach out, have a conversation, or ask a few more questions of whoever invited you to watch this. And and just learn a little bit more. There's never any pressure or anything like that. That's just not how we roll in the Juice Plus world at all. Where, some people it's good, Some people it's not a right fit. That's fine. You know, I want to support people no matter what. Yes, I'm just reading the chat a little bit. Yes, people feeling better and people feeling purpose and happiness in their lives. It's just great. So thanks again for coming on. Again, we're going to do this. This is going to be somewhat of a series, and we'll have some other guests on so you can hear some other stories. But I'll tell you what, I've been in this community for a long time, and I know that we will not run out of people to share stories because there are some great stories out there. So thanks for joining us tonight. I hope you got some good value and that you